Hi everyone, so I wanted to do a review of Little Women 2019, the new Little Women movie with Emma Watson, Saoirse Ronan, Meryl Streep, Laura Dern. I didn't see Midsummer, but Florence Pugh in this, she's definitely gonna be blowing up more and being in more things. She's a really good actress, you know, so yeah, I think she's definitely gonna have her own Saoirse moment where she's gonna be in a lot of movies. Directed by Greta Gerwig, blah blah blah. So many people are in this movie. It's star-studded. From the beginning, when I saw the trailer, I was really excited. I love the original with Winona Ryder and Kristen Dunst, and I was super excited to see this new take on it, especially since Greta Gerwig is directing it. And I loved Lady Bird. I think she's so talented and she brings a fresh female take. So yeah, I'll start off by saying it's been a while since I have seen the original Little Women. I have a general gist of what happens. I actually have it on DVD. I should watch it. I think I'm gonna watch it since I just saw this one to compare it. But I do feel that it was different. It was another take on it. I am hesitant when it comes to remakes because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes there's not really a fresh take on it. It's kind of trying to repeat the same thing without bringing anything really new to it, so it falls flat. But I do think that this movie brought a fresh take to it. Of course, the still general idea, since it is based on the book, happens, you know, like the same stuff happens, but there's just a different way of going about it. There's a lot of back and forth within the timeline. I don't think it's confusing. Honestly, you could kind of tell just by easy indicators, really, about what's going on. Okay, this happened before. Okay, this happened. I did hear people around me kind of like, wait, what? Like confused, because they were like, wait, is this person still there? Or what happened to this person? You know, so I guess it's just a sense of paying attention, really. It was interesting to see Laura Dern in this role. She was so like motherly and sweet. I always see her as such a badass. So it was interesting. Meryl Streep was hilarious as always. It was a very character role for her and it was funny to see her in that. Jo has always been my favorite character ever since I was a kid. Even though, you know, I didn't relate to it the same way. It just sends a good message. Like, you really can have it all. And in that time, obviously, it was very difficult for women, but Jo really made it for herself. The love interest, the romances in it were really nice. I thought there was a lot of chemistry. Meg, Emma Watson's character, ends up with the tutor, and you know, it was just like genuinely so sweet. Like, I was rooting for it from the beginning. And even though you see the chemistry between Laurie and Jo, you know that it won't work out. Not because if you're familiar with the book or the movie. Saoirse and Timothy have this chemistry. They had the chemistry in Lady Bird. It's funny because you see her turn him down here and yet he turned her down in Lady Bird. You see that Laurie is better fitted with Amy, and you see that Jo is better suited with whatever the heck his name is. I don't remember his name, but I liked them together and I was rooting for it, you know? And the whole relationship between sisters, I think it was really cool to see that as well. I thought they all had a lot of chemistry and I just couldn't help like smiling and like crying. I cried so much that it hurt. My eyes hurt, my throat hurt from just bawling. I was sobbing there. I could not breathe from all like the tears and everything. I was like sniffling all my way through it. My sister's like, yeah, you were crying throughout the whole thing. But you know, I like that. I think that's what movies are supposed to do. They're supposed to make you feel, and I definitely felt. And you know, to be familiar with the storyline and still feel it so immensely, that's incredible. Because sometimes when you know what happens and you're familiar with it and it's just like a repetition of it, you don't really feel anything. It just kind of, you know, like, I knew that. Yeah, it's still sad, but like, yeah, whatever. But it was just like a lot of like moments, even the big moments and then the little moments as well. Like the little details that truly get you. Greta Gerwig did such a great job of directing and writing the way these characters are and the way they interact and just like the little small moments that are so genuine that made it really interesting to watch. Like, it keeps you in the movie the whole time. Like, there was never a moment in the movie that I'm like, I can't wait for this to be over, or I can't wait until like I could go home and sleep. Throughout it all, like even when it ended, I'm like, oh, like I just, from the very beginning, I couldn't help but like giggling and like smiling, because I really felt what the characters were feeling, and I felt like I was in it, and that's what you want out of a movie. So you know what, I'm not disappointed at all. I was really happy with it. I knew it'd be good just from like the trailers that I saw, and I saw the people that were in it, and I knew that they'd work really well together, but like experiencing it, I'm like, it's still really good. It's definitely a must-see if you can go see it. I want to see it again, but it takes a lot out of you watching it, because I feel like I cried so much that I'm like, wow, I feel like a little bit drained. Like I woke up still like a little drained, but it is a great story, and I'm not upset that they did a remake of it. I love how the movie starts and ends with the seal, with the mark, I don't even know what you call it, the wax of Little Women on the book. I think that was a really cool way to do it. I think everything was shot really nicely. It all flowed really well. I didn't understand, I know the whole school thing, there's not good schools for women, and that's why in the end, Jo opens up her own school. When Amy was in school, she looked so much older than the other girls. I mean, Florence is 23 years old. Those were like little girls by her. From what I think is that they wanted to show that there weren't enough girls from a particular age group, that they had to mix in females of different ages. I remember in the original being sad that Beth died, but to be honest, I don't think I really cared that much. I was still sad, but it didn't hit me as hard as this hit me, because we really get to see more of Beth, I think, and how the other characters interact with her, and how she touched others. So it hurt. I don't get how she had scarlet fever and then I think she got it again. I don't know. I'm a little confused about that. She was fine and then she was bad again, and then, yeah, she died. I thought it was really interesting how they did it. How they did it through Jo's perspective of like thinking back, and how she got better, and then, you know, she was just dreaming about it. Jo's dreaming a lot in the movie, and then she wakes up and no, she's dead. So yeah. The whole little group that they had where they'd put on plays, the sisters that they would put them on, and then Lori joined in. I thought that was just so funny and so nice to watch. I was just like smiling all the way through it, because it was just genuinely so cute. The costumes, all of it was incredible as well. I think it all fit the period. The dancing parts, like they warm your heart. Like the little funny things with Timothy and Saoirse. There's a part where Jo cuts off all her hair and sells it for money. There's just these little moments that you relate to so much. Like if you're like, if that were me, and the way like they interact in those moments is great. And there's just like all this playfulness. It really was a great movie and something really enjoyable to watch. And you know what? Not just if you're a female, I think everybody would enjoy it. So yeah.